are your criteria for what you enjoy in a job. What kind of this? What does this tell you? What does this kind of give you about you and or anybody? If this information is elicited from somebody, what do you like about a job? What do you enjoy? What's important to you? What is this list all about?
You might be in the wrong job.
Well, that's possible, yes. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Sometimes what happens, a job scope creeps to the point, and somebody doesn't realise that that's happened. They just don't feel just don't feel rewarded in what they're doing, or acknowledged, or just doesn't do it for them anymore. And that's exactly it. You know, their hierarchy of values has maybe changed, or hasn't, or the job has. One or the other has changed. So yes, they're out of alignment in that sense. Yeah, good call. Yeah. What else is this about?
Motivators?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is what motivates. This is the other stuff. Yes, of course, we want to be paid. That's a given. However, this is the stuff that really makes it for us. These are the genuine things that we come in for. This is what lights up our existence when we have these things, particularly the top few that you've got there. These are the things that give us some sense of purpose through our experience of work. Is that fair? Yeah, that's what it's all about. This is really... So on one level, what you've elicited for yourselves very quickly there is the kind of cornerstone of one of the cornerstones of the personality. This is intense stuff. You know, this is the kind of stuff that every manager wants to know about their members of staff, but is afraid to ask. However, on a workshop that we were running, this particular question, we could ask it. We could just say, what's important to you about a job? What do you like about your job or a job? So people write these things down. But putting them into a hierarchy or ranking them is an optional. You don't have to do that, but it's kind of just an interesting, okay, well, what my next comment normally is, I will come back to in a moment, because what I would like you guys to do is just, I think, if I can kind of say pairs and threes, because I notice there's some fours along the lines, and then there's some threes in some of the lines, and fives and things. So whatever's comfortable, but no more than three, I would ask, just in terms of the time aspect. And what I'm going to ask you to do is, there's two parts to this, so I'll write this down. If you're in a pair, this is nice and straightforward. If you're in a three, you'll just have to kind of work this a bit quicker. What I'm going to ask you to do first of all is have your partner or one of your partners just read, if this is feasible and doable, your list back to you in reverse order. So the most important is the last one to be read out. So read the list back. So does that make sense? It's their list. So it's just give it to somebody else to read back your words or your phrases back to you from the, you know, if there's 10, from number 10 through. And it can be done quickly. You don't have to kind of like ponder over it too much. It's just, so what you've got here is, real words, please. As you're talking, I just couldn't think of any values at that moment in time. So read the list back to us. So just everyone's heard their own list. Notice what happens to you, for you, or not. Okay, it's an experiment. Some of you will notice something, some of you may go, yep. And that's fine. Any reaction experience is perfectly valid. So that's the first thing I'm going to ask you to do. So that's quite quick, bang, 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 bang thing. The next bit that then will be kind of a little bit more time, and can be a discussion. You don't have to do this kind of like one then the other. You don't have to kind of do this as a one at a time thing. Is that other question of where do you find this in your work? So pick your top few. Whereabouts in your work environment do you find those things? Where do they happen? Where do you get them? This is going to be important. Okay, so that's part one. And then part two is what you've got in the book of where. Where do you find those? Where do you get those in your work, in your job, in your work environment? Okay, so I'm thinking maybe 5 minutes total for that one. Okay, so that's why no more than threes. So pairs and threes, please. Over to you for a minute.